Anyways, everybody, let's march on. Here tonight, I'm continuing this nightmare series so far. We can keep talking about whatever in chat. But last night, we nearly had to tear this team apart. We missed the playoffs. And we'll probably miss the playoffs again, maybe? I don't know. This team's in such a weird spot. Power of hindsight, we should have let certain people go through offer sheets, but we didn't. And now we're just holding on for dear life. In terms of like RFAs, we don't have any to worry about. We got $2 million in cap space. We're pretty much set in terms of our roster heading in to next year. It's just a matter of what kind of player development we might get in the offseason. Playing NHL 17 because 24 still sucks. I mean, hey, you guys know I enjoy myself some NHL 17, you know? We do have to change over our scouts, but it doesn't let you do it in the off-season, which I hate. So let's move forward here. As former web dev for a tech startup, they probably get paid very well for what started as a hobby. In terms of cap-friendly, yeah. I mean, again, like, we don't know how much money, and maybe by the time this is out on YouTube in fucking August of 2026, we'll know how good of a deal it was for Cap Friendly to be bought by the Caps. If it even finally goes through. Who knows? Maybe there's enough backlash. Probably not. I'm sure they're getting paid a pretty penny. But yeah, who knows? So going to be into a podcast this week. There should be. Sam Besser, by the way. Good to see you. Also, I love the video where you said it'll get posted in February, get uploaded in June. It sure did. I saw that comment, and yeah. Remember, I will reiterate this again because of COVID and bronchitis. The freaking back schedule, the backlog of videos just got ridiculous. Is the only way to put it, and we're still playing catch up on both channels. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Goalie-wise, we got Bonkin versus Stieg. Bonk's up to an 80. Skewin taps a new episode of that confirmed tomorrow, 100%. 100%. You got to see Sting's last match. I sure did. And then I got to see the inside of my eyelids for about a week while I tried to sleep off COVID. I don't think we'll sign Wesley. We'll let him play in junior as an overager. Have I played the new F1? I have not. Still holding out for it to be better. It's better than it was at launch. It's still not amazing, is my understanding. So, I guess there's really just no reason to sign Wesley. Let's see. Defense. Oh, my God. Whew. Well, we do want to sign Johan Leonard to his ELC, even if he plays in the AHL. We can sign Wolski and Kapitanov. See what we can do here. Installed mods in Civ 5 playing as Pittori. The ultimate independent nation. I love that you're in 2036. I don't, because it means we haven't won yet. Tanabe is a 73. Let's sign this guy. Just try to be able to fill out the rosters. Both the NHL and the AHL level with half-decent options. Even bring in Ma. Old Austin Ma. Not too worried about Vukafuji. In junior, anyway. Okay, so if we don't have to sign goalies, we don't have any more defensemen to bring in, we should be good to go. What the hell is this team going to look like this year? I mean, Bonkin versus Stieg makes a lot of sense to let Skewin still be the starter. Defensemen are Park, DeRoche, Turakov. Ugh. I think, again, we're going to take out these guys that are not so great and just try to brute force develop some of these other guys. It just seems like our best bet for now is to try and make it work. And that's what we'll do. Oh, goodness. Okay. Because as we saw towards the end of last season, having other players in the lineup didn't necessarily help us in the back half of the season. We got to send down two of these players. mean, the obvious shouts would be Kapitanov and Sontag to be full-time AHLers. The other argument is Winehandle and Leonard to be the top pair in the AHL, because otherwise these two guys aren't going to be useful unless they develop. So we are going to play it as risky as we can. That's all we can do. Wrights is almost ready to go. Tamarinus really hasn't developed. That's a shame. Who else can step into this lineup? We got Heberlein. I don't know if Brad Ricci was always a low 6. I don't think he was. So that's a bit concerning. Oh boy. I am now only slightly worried about our future. And by slightly worried, I mean incredibly goddamn worried. Okay, obviously we're not going to be able to play everybody. Right. What are we going to do here? I mean, Ma has to play at the NHL level if we're going to be able to brute force him. Cyphers isn't that bad. Osplin's 23. Probably just not going to make it. Holler's 21. Harvey Ho was 23. Wrights was 23. So how many players is that? It's 10, 11, 12. We still got to send down one dude. Tamarinus is 22. Send down Tamarinus. Major, what's going on? Another big-time goon sesh. That's on this channel. You like how I'm just trying to beat the joke into the ground? I said the joke into the ground before chat can, even though they already have. We still losing or are we winning? Well, last year we didn't make the playoffs, and this year, judging by this strategy attempt we got going on, probably not going to make the playoffs this year either. Probably not. You know what? This team's very top-heavy. That was by design. You know what? I'm not liking the way this looks. Not liking the way this looks. For obvious reasons. So we get Delorme at 21. Ulmer was 23. Audette's 24. Janssen's 20. Bentley's 21. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do here? There's a right way and a wrong way, potentially, to go about this. Bentley at that age, it's getting to the point where if we don't brute force his development, or at least try, he's certainly never going to develop. Wolski's only a low 4. Leonard was 18. Peckham doesn't have a great potential. Vinehandle's only 19. Janssen's 20 with a low 4. Audette's not going to get much better. So I need one other defenseman then to be called up. So let's go with old Finley. Why not? Let's go with Finley. Delorme and Bentley are the only two super weak players. Not all that confident in my decision-making surrounding this team right now. But, I don't know. I think regardless we'll be okay. So Wrights is 23. He's not going to get much better. Harvey Ho's 23. Marinus at 22. Did we have anybody else with a good potential that was 23 years old? Stutzel's not going to get any better. It's Kimo Osplin. So that's 10, 11, 12. That should be better. Heberlein's only 20. We can drop him out of there, let him star at the AHL level. Might be Cademan Helms that gets called up then. Let's try a different strategy. Just because I feel like the brute force option hasn't necessarily worked. And when I look at it, it hasn't necessarily worked because we have no room in the top 6. So, honestly, the way these lines are set up right now, we're pretty much good to go. I just want to make sure the top face-off options are actually taking the draws, and they are. Move Bootland over to the left. 86 face-offs for Caden Lindstrom, our captain. Defense, we're going to keep that DeRocher Park pairing together. Still planning on giving everyone different skating stuff. If we make it to the playoffs, then yes, but I won't waste the time now for players who might not develop, if that makes sense. No point in doing it now when a good amount of these guys might never be on the on a playoff roster that we'd actually see play. So, and then goalies, Bonk and Versteeg. Okay, AHL is going to be that much more important here. And honestly, there was that argument for the NHL to do the 3 pairs of 2 throughout the top 9. But again, regular season, we need those guys on higher lines. And that third line's not horrific. Goalie-wise, Skewin and Schlemko, which isn't bad. Tried an under 6-foot team once. We've done short kings. We've done tall kings. I think eventually I want to do another like 35 and up challenge for the vets. So Gallagher is old as hell. It's the best coach to use, the highest rated coach you can get. Unless you're talking about for this specific team, and I haven't looked yet because I don't have my lines set up the way I want them. Let's see, Gove's not any better. We'll bring in Kapitanov. He's not going to get any better, I should say. Cesar Audette or Lars Sontag. Homer's 23 and a low 4. How good's Janssen? 20 and a low 4. Beckham's not that good. All right, so Janssen's coming in. So if we sort by best potentials, never mind. Janssen was already in. Kapitanov. There we go. That's better. The low 4s on the bottom pairing, the medium elites, the low elites. That looks okay. All right, and then for the forwards, do we have any dudes that we don't care about that weren't drafted by us? No, we don't. So everyone was at least drafted by us. Walls is a low 6. Medium 6 enforcer for Ma. Houghton's a low 6. Medium bottom 6 for Nick Renberg. Obviously, we can get him out of there. Cyphers was good. Hanula isn't going to get any better, nor is Jody Sawyer, though. So we'll take Sawyer out for nobody, to be honest. So to sort this by potential, Hanula, Sawyer, and Hemingway are the veterans of that AHL team that aren't going to get any better. If anyone is a low 6, they go to that third line. That includes the entirety of the current top line. So Ricci will be on the second line. You got Austin Maz, a medium 6, medium elite, medium 6, low elite. It's got to be Holler that goes down to that second line. So at least the AHL team, we have some potentials that we're trying to build around. No guarantees it works, but at least it's not a completely barren wasteland that some teams that have made a Stanley Cup final end up having for their AHL team, right? I mean, there's some hope, there's some potential, but my God, are we heavily dependent right now on some out-of-nowhere player development? Very out-of-nowhere player development. Let's find out who the best coach for the job is, although, my God, it might just be worth leaving it like this. Plus, this goalie coach is a physical style. We got 3 goalie coaches that are at least an A-. That is such a rarity. We're going to leave that as it is. Let's fix those scouts. We need 2 scouts for the dub. I would normally like to optimize a little bit more for scheme fit, but I'm not too worried. is that Dylan DeMello. It is not. Unfortunately. Retired players don't really become good coaches. Do you have owner mode off? I do. My preference to play with it off, just because in its current form, it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Like, it's just not fun to manage. There are ways to do owner mode that can make it fun to manage and kind of navigate, but those currently do not exist. All right, we need an Austrian. How much money will make you do an owner mode? I mean, we've done an owner mode franchise on this game before. Like, it's nothing. Oh, that's right. I have 2 open scout spots. Okay. We've done it before, and it's like, it's fine. There's just nothing really interesting about it, in my opinion, aside from, well, hey, your scouts suck, which, yeah, no shit. No matter what the hell, come on, air conditioner. No matter what the hell you do, even if you have good scouts in this game, they still suck. So there's that. And then coaching-wise, it just means, oh, well, you have bad coaches, so you lose. Good day, sir. Which, So, AJ, what's up? And yeah, that's kind of the feeling today for most people. All right, our ratings won't be as bad as they were last year, but they're still not going to be amazing. We'll put up a prediction again for playoffs, which I don't know if I would vote yes on that. 91, 78, and 81. So it's not absolutely horrific, but yeah, we are a very, very top-heavy team. Any hope for NHL 25? Yes. I have some hope for it. Not allowed to go into greater details than that. By the time this goes up on YouTube, people will probably already know. But there is some hope. You hate Washington more than Chicago? No. Washington bought cap friendly. Chicago kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? There are some differences to their actions there, don't you think? Or lack thereof, in terms of the word actions. All right, top 6. We kept you together. Desperately. Don't make me regret it. Although at this point, like, if the top 6, if we cannot find a way to get the depth that we need to build around this top 6, then we're pretty much dead in the water anyway. It is only 2035. It's not too late to tear this down and try to build it back up. The problem is, by rule, we can only tear it down so much. And this team is struggling out of the gates. It would be one thing if I gave myself the nuclear option and said, all right, you can trade away players via the trade block for draft picks, but that's pretty much the only way this would get overly interesting again, unless we can find a way to break through here. So, a veteran coach that 4 checks and change. The coaching styles do matter a bit. Maybe not as much as I'd like them to, but they do matter quite a bit. Finding a team that actually, or finding a coach that actually fits your team. We shrugged off a really poor start to be somewhat okay at this stage of the year, which is a little bit surprising. I definitely wasn't expecting, flirting with a playoff spot as of January 1st, but case in point, this team is incredibly streaky. Just a casual 7-game losing, 9-game losing streak. I swear something similar happened last year, too. Like, we had a good team at one point, and then they just fell apart. And that has happened again as we are approaching the trade deadline. It's the highest scheme fit we've ever gotten a coach. I think we had one hit about a 90, but that's because we were in something like that. It was up there, but it was a very specific type of team build. Luke Hughes is a New York Ranger. Tri-state area would burn down. Oh, yep. From a team flirting with a playoff spot to being dead last in our division right now, it's not looking good. Really not looking good here, guys. Bonk does have a 905. That's the best regular season goaltending we've seen in a long time. That top pair is not destroying worlds like they normally do. So, let's split up the defensemen we're trying to get develop. Let's go with Bootland and Letourneau, McQueen, and Morin. Oh my god, the freaking lag. Shout out to Raging Boner 99, the Wayne Gretzky of Raging Boners. 3 months on the primer. Maybe that park sacrifice was needed. Yeah. Power of hindsight, power of Pine Sol. We probably take that deal. Honestly, power of hindsight, we probably should have taken every single offer sheet that came our way. But it is what it is. And now we got to deal with the consequences. But it did make sense at the time to keep the defenseman. But yeah, power of hindsight, we should have just let everybody go. But it's not what we did. AHL-wise, some of these guys are getting better, not to a crazy degree, but some of them are getting better. But let's see how the boys finish up the season. I haven't looked at the draft class yet. Oh my god, the menu lag on this game right now is horrific. Jesus. We'll see if the team performs better this way or if we were, again, just meant to be a bottom feeder. We had the 5th overall pick last year, and that could very well happen again this year, although mixed success here. I don't really want to know if there's a good player at the top of the draft, at least at this second. We will find out, though, before the lottery. And yeah, we are still just a highly inconsistent team. And there will be no playoffs in Trinidad Tobago for the 2nd year in a row. Damn it. What are we going to do with this team, man? Oh, what are we going to do? How far down the order were we? At 36, 40, and 6. We were the second to last team in our division, only ahead of Florida. And we actually weren't even that shit. 25th. But 5 teams finished with 68 points or less. So we're too good to be bad, but too bad to be good, which is a death sentence in a draft of glory. An absolute death sentence. Lindstrom did well. Wasselin, 52 goals. McQueen, 70 assists. Elsewhere, what's going on, by the way? How are you? I mean, there was some depth scoring on this team. Not so much on the 4th line that got ripped apart, but defensively, 51 points for Park. We're never going to have a defenseman that can do that aside from him. Worm's not looking that great. And then goaltending-wise, a 901 for Bonk, who will continue to be our guy for now. Around the league, 121 points, or just 120 outright for Marty Zacharias. You had Frondell, McKenna, Matvey Michkov, Ryan Rubrick, Noah Kosick, Ivan Demidov, Cole Perfetti, Connor Bedard, Junior Wakabayashi, Karel Steshkal, Tony Shea, Skylar Cole, Matty Beniers, Matt Savoie, Brady Tkachuk, now on the Bruins, all hitting at least 100 points. And yeah, Connor Bedard's 30. Matty Beniers is 33. 71 goals for Silverberg. The amount of fucking generated franchise power forwards in this mix that we didn't get is insane. 94 points for Landon DuPont. Zellweger's up there, and Cale Makar is still a point-per-game beast at age 37. But only 10 goals. Jackson Joseph and Landon DuPont leading the way for goals. What's Payarvi at for total goals? You asked just in time. Matias Payarvi, now 29 years old, has 736 goals in 902 games. Did I miss anything other than this team sucking? We got reverse swept in the Stanley Cup final and have accomplished absolutely nothing since then. So I guess my answer to that question just should have been no. 56 goals being a down year is insane. Yeah. Winning us goalie, Vitaly Grabechkov, our old friend. Shutout leader, only 4. Jody, but wow, quite a few guys with 4. And save percentage king amongst starters, 912 for Eric Olson. So anything above a 905 is outstanding. Good to see our old friend Chubbard up there, but don't trust him in the playoffs, Vancouver. Top rookie is probably going to be Jordan Cardwell. How many seasons since the Cup final run? 2. So yeah, this year we missed the playoffs. 2035 we missed the playoffs. 2034 we were up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final against Minnesota and lost in 7. We suffered massive casualties to our franchise depth. And, yeah. Okay. Well, the big question now is, what does the draft class look like? There is potentially a grinder as a top 4 pick, Francois Denis. We need to win the lottery and get one of those top 3 spots. Outside of that, it's looking pretty bad. Gregory Playfair, Tuomo Peltola, Bruce Busenius. Should be a great time to win the lottery as a team that did not finish in the bottom 5. Let's hope that happens. AHL team finished dead last, by the way. So, not much going on there, but I'm just trying to think, what is the right way to go about it? Because I don't necessarily want to do the, okay, I can trade block Caden Lindstrom, but only deal for draft picks. Like, in a way, that would be like accepting an offer sheet, except it's a punishment for a lesser offer sheet. But the punishment is typically just, nope, you have to deal with the fact he's here. You know? The Anaheim Ducks win the Stanley Cup for the first time in 29 years. 39 years. No, yeah, 29 years. Excuse me, not 39 years. It's been almost 30 years since they won the Cup in 2007. And we'll see how the Ducks managed to get there. And they beat the Buffalo Sabres in 6 games. Draft strength is still on high. Yes, we were having better draft classes when it was on low. So, figure that one out. Figure that one out. Where's Mitch Marner going? He's staying in Toronto. He's staying in Toronto. Can we turn it on low? Nah, we're going to leave it on high still for the hell of it. Jordan Dumais, Leo Carlson, Cutter Gauthier, Trevor Zegras, Olin Zellweger, and others win the Stanley Cup for the Ducks with goaltender Vesa Tarkey. 3rd round pick of the Bruins in 2028. Imagine the Bruins letting go of a Finnish goalie. Your award winners this year, that's now 4 straight cups for Western Conference teams, by the way. Zacharias won the Art Ross. Frondell wins the Hart for the 2nd time in 5 years. DuPont wins his 2nd Norris in 4 years. Demidov wins the Bing. The Calder went to Osgood in Boston. Interesting. Not who I thought. Jordan Dumais wins the Conn Smythe. Vezina to Pittsburgh's goalie Olsen. Jack Adams goes to Pittsburgh's head coach. McCamey, whatever the hell it is, wins another Selke. Frondell, Ted Lindsay, and Silverberg wins his 2nd Rocket Richard in as many years. Nathan McKinnon led the AHL in points for the Toronto Marlies. You got Mietin in his league MVP. And, of course, a lot of generated names from there. But, shout out to Nathan McKinnon, who kept his career going down in the AHL. Did we have any crazy prospect development here? Corvo's up to an 82. That's not bad. The rest of these guys with orange, it would have been statistical growth as opposed to natural. But decent development for Corvo. Decent development for Calvin Skewen. He's definitely ready to go. Heberlein, not bad. Tamarinis, not bad. Not much else at the NHL level. In the system, Janssen, Wesley. Decent development for Cyphers. He went up a couple points, but nothing crazy. Big development for Gustav Skapitanov. He went from, what, like a 52 to a 69? That is phenomenal. Yeah, plus 11 natural growth, a plus 13 in offensive awareness. So there is a chance that Kapitanov could actually be a really solid player for us. Austin Ma went up by a little bit. Not the best year for player development. Not the worst either. So, we'll take that. Draft lottery time, where we never have that great of luck. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Edmonton, who originally was one spot ahead of us, moves to number 2. We stay at number 9. Okay. Just another kick to the nads, you know? As Nathan McKinnon retires, Braden Point, Elias Pettersson, Kachuk, Keller, look at the high scorers. The man who broke my heart, Kirill Kaprizov. And that is a hell of a retirement class. I thought Pavel Zacha retired already. I guess I was mistaken. And defensively, you would have seen already, Cale Makar retires with a tremendous 420 goals for the Colorado Avalanche. McAvoy's gone. Cale Makar is going to be up there in all-time defensive scoring. And UC Saros is gone. Eustace, Jake Ottinger. Eustace with more wins and more than 100 less games than Ottinger. That doesn't seem right, but okay. Fair enough. Nico Hischier becomes a coach. Screw the draft interview. I don't care enough. We will look at the record book, though, in the aftermath of Makar retiring. And then, obviously, at the very end, once we're done, we'll look through every single team. But looking at the Avs right now, Makar is the all-time assist leader with 1,175 career assists for the Avs. McKinnon, the all-time point leader at nearly 1,800. But Joe Sakic's 20 seasons. Tough to beat. NHL-wise, of course, Ovi finished top 3 in games played. Marc-Andre Fleury was up there and finished number 1 for most games all-time for a goalie. Ovi has the all-time goals lead at 988. Crosby finished 2 above Stamkos. Matthews at 954. Matthews has yet to retire. So Austin Matthews next year could be the first guy to ever break 1,000. The all-time point leader, McKinnon, finished 2nd ahead of Crosby, McDavid, and Yager. That's insane. All-time assist leader, Cale Makar, is 5th all-time in assists. Jesus Christ. You got Fleury and Vassy on the all-time wins list in the top 5. Shutouts will never change. Matthias Pajärvi has already set the record for most 50-goal seasons in a career. He's not even 30 yet. Bedard has 10. That's insane, as I have lost my connection to Twitch. But I have not lost my internet, which is interesting. Give me a second here for the YouTube side of things. You have lost your connection to everything, have I? Have I? I still have internet. So why the hell did that go out? Interesting. Well, YouTube, at least you get to see the rest of this. I got a little light on my my modem. Hasn't changed color. It goes red when I've lost internet service. This is very weird that I would have lost it on Xbox too. So what we'll do is we'll go save this. There it goes. Your boy's lost internet. Lovely time for that. Lovely time. So we'll save this, and hey, this will be a shorter episode of Goon Squad. We'll get to the draft next time.